We grow up believing that if we just love people enough, we can heal the broken parts of them. But what if the very thing you're trying to save is the thing destined to destroy you? There is a fine line between compassion and self-destruction, and most of us don't realize we've crossed it until it's too late. Today's story is about a man who crossed that line and the chilling lesson the forest taught him about the difference between being good and being wise. For centuries, people have told tales of the wilderness to explain the wilderness inside other people. A long time ago, during a season where no rain had fallen for months, a traveler was making his way through a brittle forest. The leaves crunched like old bones under his feet. The air was thick with the smell of dust and heat. As he climbed a small hill, his eyes caught a flicker of orange in the distance. Smoke. He knew fire in a dry forest meant death, but his feet moved toward it anyway, pulled by a force he didn't understand. When he reached the clearing, he saw a ring of flames closing in on a massive ancient oak. The fire was hungry, devouring the dry brush, but it wasn't the fire that stopped the man's heart. It was the creature coiled on a low-hanging branch, trying to escape the rising heat. A serpent, but not like any he had seen before. Its scales shivered with deep, rich colors, and its eyes held a sadness so deep it looked almost human. The serpent spoke, its voice a dry whisper carried on the smoke. "Stranger, I have watched 100 souls pass by today. Some threw rocks to taunt me. Some laughed at my suffering. But you stopped. You looked at me and saw something more than my skin." The snake lowered its head. "The flames are closing in. If you have even a drop of mercy in your heart, please take me from this branch, place me on the cool grass beyond the fire line. I have lived my whole life in this tree, and I do not want to die here alone." The man stepped back, his instincts screaming at him. He remembered the warnings of his elders. A serpent's venom does not discriminate between a friend and a foe. But how could something so beautiful, so desperate, be capable of harm? The serpent seemed to read his mind. "I know what you are thinking," it hissed softly. "You think I am a monster because of what my cousins have done, but I am not them. I have been alone for so long, judged only by my appearance. If you save me, I will spend my life protecting you. My fangs will remain hidden. My only desire is to feel the earth beneath my body again, without the burn of fire. Please, be the one who sees me, not just what I am." The traveler felt his heart crack. He saw not a predator, but a victim of circumstance. He saw loneliness. He saw a chance to be a hero. Could he really walk away and let this creature burn just because of a stereotype? He found a long, thick branch and extended it toward the oak. The serpent slithered onto it gratefully, wrapping itself around the wood. The man carefully lowered it to the ground, and then, taking a huge risk, he opened his leather satchel. "Get inside," he whispered. "I will carry you to safety." He felt the weight of the serpent against his chest. He felt its cool scales through the fabric. He walked for miles, past the scorched earth, past the dry riverbeds, until he reached a lush green valley with a stream running through it. This was paradise. He knelt down, unlatched the bag, and smiled. "You are free now. You are safe." In the blink of an eye, the serpent lunged. Its fangs sank deep into the man's hand. A cold fire shot up his arm. The man stumbled backward, falling onto the grass, clutching his wound. He looked at the serpent, not with anger, but with confusion so deep it turned into physical pain. "Why?" the man whispered, his voice dry and broken. "I was your only hope. Everyone else ignored you or hurt you. I carried you in my own bag, against my own heart. I listened to your words. I believed your promise. You said you would be different. You said you saw the truth in me. Why would you do this?" The serpent, already half hidden in the tall grass, paused. It turned its head, its tongue flickering, tasting the air. "You knew what I was when you picked me up," it said, without a hint of malice. You didn't save me because I was different. You saved me because you wanted to believe I could be different. That was your hope, not my promise. The fire didn't change my blood. The kindness didn't change my nature. I did not bite you because I am evil. I bit you because I am a serpent. My nature is older than your compassion, and it is stronger than your hope." The serpent disappeared into the green blades. The man sat there, the poison slowly spreading, but the physical pain was nothing compared to the weight of understanding that crushed his spirit. He realized in that moment that his greatest mistake was not being kind, but believing that his kindness was a magic spell that could rewrite the laws of the universe. He had traded his safety for a fantasy, and the fantasy had bitten him. We do this every single day. We meet people who are made of thorns, and we hug them tightly, hoping our love will turn them into flowers. We see the fire in their lives, the drama, the chaos, the betrayal of others, and we rush in to save them, telling ourselves, they will be different with me, I will be the one who changes them. But a person's nature is not a coat they take off when they meet someone nice. It is the fabric of their being. Some people show you their fire because they know it will attract a savior. They want a safe place to land so they can rest, recover, and then go back to being exactly who they are. If you try to rescue someone who has not decided to rescue themselves, are you a healer or are you just fuel for their fire? True wisdom does not mean closing your heart. It means opening your eyes. It means recognizing that a cactus, no matter how much water you give it, will never become a grapevine. If you embrace a cactus, you will bleed. That doesn't mean the cactus is wicked. It means you forgot to look at what was right in front of you. To find softness, you must look for something soft. To find loyalty, you must look for someone who has already built it within themselves. You cannot give what you do not have, and you cannot inspire what does not exist. The traveler's story is not a warning against kindness. It is a warning against blindness. You can be the most loving person in the world, but if you give that love to someone whose nature is to destroy, you will not save them. You will lose yourself. You can forgive a person for who they are and still decide that you will not stand close enough to be bitten. Isn't it wiser to admire the serpent from a distance rather than carrying it in your bag? If this lesson resonates with the journey of your own heart, please take a moment to subscribe to the Moral Code. It helps more than you know, and it ensures these stories find the people who need them most. If you have ever picked up a serpent and paid the price, write the word "aware" in the comments below, a signal to yourself and others that you have learned to look before you love. Share this with someone who is carrying too much weight for people who don't deserve it. Let's build a community where we keep our hearts wide open, but our eyes wider open.